Bible is secretly encoded. You have 12 cranial nerves in your brain. Jesus has 12 disciples. The 12 disciples spread the teachings of Jesus. Just like the 12 cranial nerves control the body from the mind, these are the 12 disciples spreading the gospels of your command. There are two trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The cardiovascular system gives life to the body. The nervous system gives you the knowledge of good and evil. God is the mind. Now let me explain. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. So was this mouse. You are a manifestation of God's thoughts. You are a thought in the mind of God. You possess a mind. You are a microcosm of God's mind. You use thought to create your own reality, your own world. You're a fractal of God. This is why Michelangelo put God in the brain. Touching Adam, your body, God, the mind. Your mind is the invisible, infinite intelligence which can never be filled with information. And your mind experiences the knowledge of good and evil through the central nervous system. That's why all of the ancient Christian artwork is all depicting the brain. Because God is within you, not outside of you. The Bible is an allegorical, metaphorical, spiritual, psychological, astrological, encoded text about the anatomy and the human experience about yourself. Space was made to hide the truth about yourself. You don't look into reality. Light enters the eye and the image is produced in the visual cortex of the brain. You touch, taste, hear, smell, and see with your brain. The body produces a simulation. The world is actually inside of you. The heliocentric model has placed this visual field of the eyes in the model to hide the fact that your body is pretty much its own universe. Your thoughts and emotions are like commands which project that reality. Even the Egyptians symbolized the visual field. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. The I am within you, because consciousness creates matter. You are projecting your own reality. Jesus symbolizes the essence in each individual. Whatever you see collapses light waves into matter. Like a video game, when your consciousness interacts with the certain part, it will load in. Because your body is technology. Spirit interacts with matter through the 5 senses. This is why you have 5 fingers, 5 toes on each hand and feet. 5 points on your body, because 5 is the number of experience and the gateway between spirit and matter. Heaven is consciousness, which is the base reality. This world you are in now is the effect of mind. Humans are the most advanced beings because we have the opportunity to understand God. No other animal can. We can expand our minds into infinite fields of knowledge. Lucifer is the false light, which is this world that produces the visual field in the brain. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. The woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. The truth about the pineal gland. It's not the third eye, it's the first eye. It is an eye. When you imagine something in your head and you see that image, that is that mind's eye seeing this image. You're a multidimensional being and your third eye has access to the astral plane. So when you imagine something in your head, you are literally creating out of astral matter. This is the dream world also. This is why your heel is hell and your head is heaven, because your head has access to the astral plane. The pineal gland has physioluminescent crystalline jagged shaped cells on it, which emits and reflects light. The more you activate your mind's eye through imagination, the lighter your mind becomes. This is why we say enlightenment. And that's why we have the Illuminati, which is illumination of the mind. It's both a material and a spiritual gland. This is why Jacob in the Bible calls the place pineal, where he's seen God face to face. Pineal is the pineal gland of your brain. I'll be hosting a live call tomorrow in my universe on something quite scary on the $1 bill. You might want to check this out. So first of all, we need to look at this symbol here. Symbolism is a language that you don't speak. And only the initiated into secret societies understand symbolism. This is filled with symbolism, and I can read it because I understand symbolism. Anu Coeptus Novus Ordo Seclarum, announcing the birth of the new order of the ages, the new world. This is the new world order. And then if we look here, what do we have? We have an omega. Omega. Alpha, the first. Omega, the last. This is the last. This is the last fiat currency before the Great Reset. This is what's happening, people. They're going to reset the currency system, and it's going to be all digital money. What do you guys think about this? Plus, we have on the $1 bill, this isn't the scary part, but this is another piece of symbolism. One. In God we trust. God is one. Because I am God, you are God. God is in everything and everyone. There is nothing but God. God is consciousness, and consciousness is in the head. This is why this symbol represents the enlightened human being. The illumination of the mind. Illuminati, illumination. This is when one realizes they are God and have limitless potential. What do you guys think? Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is within you. Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. El comes from Elohim, which means God. When the two hemispheres of your brain come together and work as one electrical system, you're left with pure consciousness, which can lead to out-of-body experiences. Even the Bible tells you to astral project, rather be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8. The Bible says, I know a man in Christ who was caught up in the third heaven. Physical, etheric, astral. This is astral projection. Whether in the body or out of the body, I do not know. Corinthians 12:2. This is why the Sumerian gods had two faces, and the 33rd degree symbol has two eagle faces, because it symbolizes having mastery over the physical and the astral body. You can quite literally live while people sleep. Leaving your physical body puts you in the fourth dimension, the astral plane, which is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine a red apple. As a child, you could imagine very vividly because you came from the fourth dimension. As you grew older, you lost this ability to imagine. Your consciousness is pure light, and through the intent and focus of your mind, you can focus this light into a form, which is what we call imagination, the fourth dimension. That's why I put together a free guide which gives you practical methods to enhance your inner vision. Anyone can get this, it's for free, and it's basically a teaching from Ethereal University. You are God. Yahweh in Hebrew forms the body. The 4 Hebrew letters are the 4 elements, which represent your 4 bodies. Earth is the physical body, water is the emotional body, fire is the spirit, air is the mind. Sound of Yahweh is the inhale and exhale of breath. Pause the video and breathe and you can hear it. Yahweh in Hebrew means I am. Jesus in French means I am. Yahweh adds up to 26. You have 206 bones in the body. You have sulfur bridges every 10,565 in your DNA strands, which in Hebrew gematria creates Yahweh. Death is an illusion, it's a transition from physical into the astral. This is the realm of imagination. That screen you have in your mind that allows you to vision an apple, it's the astral plane. Now you go there every time you have a dream. This is the subconscious manifesting in the realm of imagination. That's what a dream is. Every dream has a message because it's your mind materializing into matter. Yes, mind and matter are the same substance. The ancients used to prepare for death. This was a normal thing because they understood the mind is still alive after the physical body dies. Therefore, they detached from physical external addictions. Everything in the Matrix is designed to keep you addicted to as many things as possible. You can't ascend to these higher planes if your mind is stuck in these 3-dimensional ways of thinking. These temples they built were in the form of the human body, and they would teach them how to raise their consciousness from the lower 3 chakras, the survival mode, into a higher state of consciousness where they are no longer attached to external things and they have mastery over their mind. Your body is a temple. These Egyptian temples were not for worship. These temples were 3D schools, which communicated to the student through a sophisticated language of symbols, volumes, and proportions, revealing ancient wisdom. They started their journey in the entrance, which represents the heels, because the temples were built in the human form, because they understood that God is within man, implying that man embodies the universe. The same principles that govern man are also the same governing the universe. It was a school teaching mental and spiritual ascension, to go from matter to spirit, from heel hell to head heaven. That's why the entrance is at the heels, representing the physical plane, the physical self, the lower carnal mind. The body wants the physical pleasures. Then raising up through the symbolism in these rooms up to the head heaven, which is the spiritual place. It is the spinal column that is the stairway to heaven. The Bible even talks about this, but you're just not reading it correctly. The word Yahweh means I am. Jesus in French is I am. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Be still and know that I am God. It's the I am within you is God. I am the light of the world. You project your own reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a fractal of the consciousness of the universe, which is God. Satan represents your lower carnal mind that wants the fleshly desire. Life is hell because you don't understand the field. Your internal, mental, and emotional states manifest your external physical world. Your heart produces this field, and you feel your emotions in the heart. Your thoughts create your emotions create the electromagnetic field from the heart, the energy in motion, and your electromagnetic field creates your physical reality. This means your external world is a reflection and a physical manifestation of your internal, mental, and emotional state. This is why your life is hell, because you've been taught that your emotions are something that should be reactive, when in fact you should be choosing the emotions you feel so that you manifest the emotion that you feel in your external world. Because by feeling that emotion, you become that vibration. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You attract whatever vibration that you are. By combining your electric thoughts and magnetic emotions to feel something before you have it, this is how you become that vibration. You create your own reality. The universe is mental. Everything exists within your mind. Stop worshipping Jesus and all of these religions and external gods because they do not exist. Everything exists within you. You are the universe. Literally playing a game. You can manifest anything you want in this world. Jesus never existed. You are Jesus. You are God made flesh. The eye in the triangle symbolizes the three aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. This is why in the Bible God said, "Let there be light." Let there is the thought, be is being, the emotion, the feeling, and light is the action of your thoughts and emotions, because your thoughts and emotions create your reality. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. The eye symbolizes the observer, the formless entity that is behind every living being. We are all the same formless eye, observer, entity. The symbol is actually called the Eye of Providence in Masonic orders. Providence adds up to 3 in Gematria: Brahma, Ishnu, Shiva, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, creator, preserver, destroyer, body, mind, and soul. The mind connects the soul to the body, it's the bridge. This one is the soul, the entity, the eye, the observer, which inhabits different bodies. This is why they have many different heads. Serpent symbolizes knowledge, gnosis, which is behind this head, the mind. This is the body, soul, mind, and body. These people are covering one eye to symbolize closing the two eyes and opening the single eye. This is why in the Bible it says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light." This eye is in the middle of the brain, which is your pineal gland, and it's the seat of the formless entity, that I am. The link is in the bio for this PDF. Earth book is now available with over 200 pages of syncretisms and pure knowledge. The link is in the bio. It's a soul system, not a solar system. You started in the stars and you entered the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You took on the 7 energies of consciousness, the 7 planets. That's why you have 7 chakras and the 7 days of creation. You started in the stars. That's why you are a star, a cis star, monstar, fraud star. That's why we need to reach for the stars and ascend to our astral body. Our astral body is the star body, the celestial body. You descended from spirit to matter, from the stars to the earth, and turned into the Anunnaki. Anu, the sky god, represents spirit. Ki, the god of the earth, represents matter. Together they gave birth to the Anunnaki, Anu and Ki, spirit and matter. You are the Anunnaki. You incarnated into a specific unique time and place of the planets and the stars, which imprinted a specific energy in you. This is why stars. This is why you have a midlife crisis at 33. Because Saturn takes 33 years to go around the Zodiac. Saturn is in the exact same position from when you were born at age 33. And Saturn is the aspect of your consciousness that limits you and makes you learn. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. When you feel hungry, this is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. The skull corresponds with the elements. Earth is the jaw, water is the mouth, air goes into the nose, fire is light, which is the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. You have 5 points on your body for the 5 elements. They hid and demonized the ether, the middle finger. Pentagram is not evil. Spirit on the top represents spirit over matter. The inverted pentagram represents matter over spirit, when their spirit is being ruled by the 5 senses. If you're desiring material things, then you are satanic. You need to invert your pentagram and put spirit over matter. They made you scared of all of the sacred symbols. That's why scared rearranged is sacred. They don't want you researching these symbols because they unlock profound teachings of how you can go from matter into spirit and become a powerful being. They want you trapped inside of the box, the material plane, living with fear, operating on the surface level of your consciousness, and being dominated by external influences. What if I told you you had the power to create your own reality, and you can only do this by mastering yourself? What is the meaning behind these 3 Masonic symbols? First of all, we have the compass. This is the cherry on top. It's the most important one. First, we must understand these. First off, we have the left pillar, Jackin. Sometimes the sun on the top, sometimes the earth on the top. Earth or the sun represents matter, what you can visibly see. The right pillar with B, Boaz, with the stars or the moon on top. This represents what you cannot see. External physical world, internal world of consciousness. The inner and the outer are mirrors of each other. Your current life circumstances are a manifestation of every thought you thought in the past. It also represents polarity, male and female. The brain, intellect, masculine. The heart, emotion, feminine. A compass creates circles, feminine. The square creates lines, masculine. Make the most out of life and make great decisions. The intellect must be in sync with the emotion. Remember that time when your head told you something but your heart was telling you something else? They need to be in sync, which is the square and the compass together. But this represents all duality. We need to balance the inside world with the outside world. Don't get too attached to the external. Don't be overly spiritual. Balance spirit and matter. Balancing the brain with the heart. It represents balance in all areas of your consciousness. People ask why? What's the point? Because this is how you gain your personal power. You are a creator. You've been creating your whole life consciously or unknowingly. In order to create with efficiency, you must balance every aspect of the self. Flip the human nervous system upside down. Looks like a tree growing from a seed, bearing the fruit of the heart, which looks like a fruit dangling on a tree. The tree growing from the seed also feeds the fruit of the spirit. The cycle of the seed is the same cycle of your life. The cycle of the seed is also the same as the parable of the sower. 12 cranial nerves managing the movement of the body, being controlled by the mind. 12 disciples spreading the gospel of Jesus. Jesus is the head. Jesus meets his disciples disciples in the upper room, 12 imams of Shia, 12 tribes of Israel with the one left out, 12 zodiac constellations around the sun. Are you starting to see it? You are the son of God. Consciousness is connected to the source of the universe. Brain is a holographic computer projecting this reality. Consciousness is a fractal of God. Your life is a file. Your brain is the husband. Your heart is the wife. The husband, or the brain, is responsible for thinking, taste, touch, hearing, and smelling and sight. Wife is the heart, which is submissive to the brain, emotion, following, and doing. You are arguing because it's the brain against the heart. Thinking versus emotion. You must learn how to sync the mind with the heart. By studying the body, you can study how relationships are truly meant to be. Could this be the real reason why oxygen's levels fell dramatically? They used to grow as high as the eye could see. This is clearly a giant tree stump. Trees have a coherent connection with us by giving us oxygen while we feed them with our exhales. Oxygen carries magnetic energy. We discover this by pouring liquid oxygen into a magnet. As you can see, the liquid in oxygen is magnetically attracted to the magnets. And we are electromagnetic beings. The humongous trees that we destroyed from the past provided us with high amounts of oxygen, which nourished us with electromagnetic energy. The extraordinary amount of energy that was being emitted from these trees allowed our bodies to function on a higher degree. Maybe this is why the ancients were so advanced. Also, brain is not your mind. Your mind is a consciousness. It's a higher realm. Your thoughts are not a physical thing. The brain is a physical manifestation of the mind. So when you see the Vitruvian man, you're seeing the man in the square. This is beginning and end. This means limitation, physical matter, the body. This is the mind, the circle, the eternal, no beginning, no end. It's mind over the matter. That's why the circle's on top of the matter, which is the compass on top of the square in Freemasonry. So when you look a bit closer in the Vitruvian man, you see small pupil, large pupil. Your pupils become big in the darkness and they become small in the light. This sees the light. This is the real eye. Well, the physical eye, the eye of Ra. This represents the inner eye, the mind, the consciousness within you that has access to these higher planes within you. There's a secret meaning behind 666. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of creation and consciousness. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. These 3 things have created your life. This is where it gets scary. The number 6 represents the cube. And this material world is created in cubes. Forwards, down, up, backwards, left, and right. 6 represents the material world. 666 represents your thought, emotions, and actions all going towards your material body and material pleasure. Cutting yourself off from spirituality. Red is the slowest vibrational frequency, and it represents chaotic and intense emotions like hate and anger. You are the devil. It's not a real person. It's the lower aspects of the human mind. The voice we hear in our head that tells us to do bad things is not the devil. It's an aspect of your mind. He has a goat head. Goats are ground animals. They represent the lower self. Angels have wings, which represent the higher self. Freemasons worship a secret god, and this is the name of him. I'm going to decode this symbolism so you can understand it. This represents God's consciousness, and it streams down to 4 sections for the 4 bodies of God. A lion, a bull, a man, and an eagle. These are the 4 fixed signs of the Zodiac. Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpio the eagle, Aquarius the man. You see this in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The man, the eagle, the lion, and the bull surrounding Jesus. The 4 fixed signs represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Aquarius is an air symbol, which is the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. This is God's consciousness streaming down to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of God, means I am. God's consciousness goes to I am. I am goes into the 4 bodies of your consciousness. The body, the mind, the spirit, and emotion. Every single one of us are an extension of the divine presence of the universe. Jesus actually represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness. Stop worshipping Jesus and embody his qualities into your life so you can live like God. The church has just muddled this up and created a religion so you give away your power. Secret God of the Freemasons is the self. This is why they all focus on self-mastery to achieving high states of consciousness. Words are swords because talking creates torus fields, a three-dimensional sound wave, which creates ripples in the fabric of reality. The words you speak shape your mind. Your external life is an externalization of your mind. Your life is a result of every thought you thought in the past. Therefore, the words you speak about yourself molds your mind, which molds your reality. Praying over food is not what you think. Praying over food is not God blessing your food. Praying over food is changing the frequency of the water structure in the food before you place it in the body. The frequency of the food has an effect on our electromagnetic field. Stop praying to Jesus and a God in the sky. Instead, whatever ye pray for, ask for, believe that you receive it, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. Jesus says himself, you will no longer ask me anything, because you can create your own reality. You don't need an external influence to create it for you. Praying is witchcraft, a form of changing reality with your words. Witchcraft is not evil. Why is it the Vatican shows so many snake symbols? Even the Pope uses this. Even Alfa Romeo uses this symbol. This is why Eve gets tempted by a snake. Snakes represent sexual energy. This energy cultivates and transforms your child body into an adult, and it can transform you into a god. In order for creation, there must be destruction. Every time you release, you're giving your life force to create another life. You give a part of your soul to create another life. Your sexual energy is the power of creation. You can save it, cultivate it, and activate your Kundalini, which will then activate dormant brain cells, allowing your brain to process information with more efficiency and faster. Or you can save it and redirect it into other aspects of your life. Critical thinking, manifestation, and chasing your goals. Sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions you could possibly feel, but don't let the snake eat you, because this is what stops you from reaching high states of consciousness and stops you from reaching your highest potential and creating abundance in your life. This is symbolic of giving in to our sexual urges, which make us fall from the Garden of Eden, our highest potential of human consciousness. Don't fall for the illusion of the material pleasures. We need to stop misusing the power of creation. You don't need caffeine, you need charging. You are an electromagnetic battery, and you have no energy because you're not charging your field. This is the force that gives you energy and life. This will give you electromagnetic energy because it's charged by the electromagnetic sun and grows out the electromagnetic earth. Coffee doesn't give you energy. The energy levels you get off coffee is the side effect of the toxic reaction it has with your body. It's a short-term effect that gives you fake energy. Real energy comes from grounding, the sunlight, and eating electromagnetic food. Coffee is toxic for your nervous system. They'll teach you about minerals and vitamins, but never tell you the most basic thing about the human body is that it runs off electricity. It's a technological machine. They are trapping your soul in the earth. You do not experience the external world. What you feel is electrical impulses on your nervous system. What you visually see is light entering the eyes and the image produced at the back of the brain. You're experiencing a simulation produced by your brain and central nervous system, which means that the body is the earth. You are God. Generator, operator, destroyer, the mind, soul, and body. The mind's the projector, the soul's the observer, and the body is the dimension. This body is allowing your soul to operate in this physical dimension. It's a vehicle. They programmed your mind to believe that you are only a physical being to trap your mind and soul in this physical world, in this physical body. But you are way more than just this physical body. The only way to escape is through astral projection. The matrix is not physical, it's a limiting belief system that lowers our state of consciousness, programmed our minds to be attached to the physical world through money, clothes, and fame. To keep our minds locked in the external reality, you must go within to expand your consciousness to astral project, to activate your light body just like the ancients were depicting. You can literally become a god and travel these other dimensions other than this physical world. That's why these Sumerian gods depicted themselves with two faces. Have you ever wondered why the word ship is at the end of everything? There's a hidden spell behind every word. Your body is 60% water, and you were born through your mother's waters. When a ship pulls up to its bay, it's called the birth canal. The ship gives birth to the products on the ship. When the ship arrives, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. And you arrive in your mother's as water, you get a certificate of manifest, which is your birth certificate, because you are a product to the system. On that birth certificate, there's a date. And that date is the Gregorian calendar, which is a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, your name is a corporation and it's signed to a copyrighted timeline. When you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, that's your corporation, not you. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a corporation. You are the I am. And your consciousness is identifying itself with the corporation, which is attached to the system. The word calendar comes from calends, which is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay their tax. God's calendar is a 28-day moon cycle. They made an artificial calendar to control you. Bank is a river bank and money is water. That's why money in the bank is called a currency, because the banks direct the flow of the current. And that's why we call it liquidity. The English language is a giant spell to keep you attached to the system. Identifying yourself with the body and the name is keeping us attached to this system. You can't sell your soul, because your soul is not physical. The soul is the intelligence within you, what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone or are negative to someone, you can feel it in your heart that you have done something wrong, because the soul is encoded with goodness and love. They have not sold their soul, it's metaphorical, for exchanging money to go against your soul's will of goodness. There is no devil to sell your soul to, but you can exchange money to go against your soul's goodness. And that's exactly what these celebrities have done. Depression doesn't exist. You are thinking too much. You need to learn how to turn off thought by meditation. When thought is no longer present in your consciousness, depression, anxiety goes out the window. It does not exist. You rise above this. When you turn off the mind, the five senses, and emotion, other aspects of your mind and consciousness starts to open up, and this is when you can gain mystical experiences. You need to connect with the pure self. Your job, your name, your body, your worries, your money is not you. You are the I am. You need to connect with the source within you. By disconnecting all of these external factors, the true you is crying out. If you are depressed, if you are sad all the time, this is a reflection that your life is synthetic and unnatural. You need to connect with yourself. That's why vodka is called spirits. A gin is a jinn, which is another type of spiritual entity. Alcohol was developed by alchemists who developed a way of extracting spirits from liquid. Alcohol is a form of a magic potion which the ancients used to alter their consciousness. They don't tell you about the astral and etheric plane, the realms beyond physical. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is ethanol, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral plane. Ancient magicians used potions to enhance their speed, strength, or whatever they want. Alcohol is a demonic potion which enhances aggression and violence because you're being possessed by these entities in the astral plane. Alcohol weakens your vibrational field, which allows these entities to enter your body. This is why people change to dark behaviors when they're intoxicated. The entities within them engage in violence and low-level sexual encounters. The whole world is drinking magic potions used for witchcraft. Why do you think you can buy alcohol in every shop and there's a pub on every street? Alcohol also weakens the immune system, kills brain cells, and reduces amounts of oxygen to reach the brain. Magic never disappeared. It was veiled in myths and stories to make it seem like dreams carry messages. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. You are leaving the physical body, the conscious mind, into the subconscious realms of the astral imagination realm. Astral plane is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. If you see Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It is your belief materializing in the fourth dimension, the imagination realm. You know when you have them dreams when people are chasing you? This is a negative aspect of your mind which is materializing itself. All of the trauma, all of the negative events that have happened are stored within your subconscious, and these are materializing itself and showing it to you in your dreams. Everything in your dream is an aspect of your own mind, therefore it is showing you messages. If you cannot control your dreams, this is your subconscious controlling the dream. You can't control your dreams because you think it's just a dream, when it's not. It's actually a whole other reality. You are a multi-dimensional consciousness. You must remove the program of it's just a dream. Before you go to sleep, consciously think and feel and believe that you will control your dream. Throughout the day, you need to be doing reality checks by pinching yourself and saying, am I dreaming? This will train your subconscious mind to say this while you are dreaming, and when you pinch yourself in your dream, you will become lucid. Once you are lucid, you can then go gain knowledge and do whatever you want in the realms of the mind. Whatever you do, never look into a mirror. Your body is a temple. These Egyptian temples were not for worship. These temples were 3D schools, which communicated to the student through a sophisticated language of symbols, volumes, and proportions, revealing ancient wisdom. They started their journey in the entrance, which represents the heels, because the temples were built in the human form, because they understood that God is within man, implying that man embodies the universe. The same principles that govern man are also the same governing the universe. It was a school teaching mental and spiritual ascension, to go from matter to spirit, from heel hell to head heaven. That's why the entrance is at the heels, representing the physical plane, the physical self, the lower carnal mind. The body wants the physical pleasures. Then raising up through the symbolism in these rooms up to the head heaven, which is the spiritual place. It is the spinal column that is the stairway to heaven. The Bible even talks about this, but you're just not reading it correctly. The word Yahweh means I am. Jesus in French is I am. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Be still and know that I am God. It's the I am within you is God. I am the light of the world. You project your own reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a fractal of the consciousness of the universe, which is God. Satan represents your lower carnal mind that wants the fleshly desire. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly... You are a star. This is why we say sister, mister, minister, monster. 7 layers of heaven. The stars are on the outermost layer. This is the start. We are a fallen angel, which is a fallen angle of light into a physical body. Stars give everyone a unique and different characteristic. Without the stars, everyone would be the same. You came out of the uterus, the portal into the physical world. You were born into a specific position of the stars and the planets, which give you a specific energy and characteristic. We live in an enclosed system. The same 12 constellations have been going around since the day of creation. You are in the womb for 9 months, 9 zodiac signs. Human body is made out of 12 cell salts, which are associated with the energies of the 12 constellations. You are mineral deficient in 3 cell salts. You need to figure out what signs you're deficient in and figure out what cell salt you are deficient in. I am a Scorpio. I count back 9 months. I am deficient in these 3 signs. Take a screenshot of this table to figure out what cell salts you need. The comment that gets 0 likes wins a free book of wisdom. Satan is you. It's the part of your mind that wants the fame, the money, the status, and the power. That is Satan. It's an aspect of your mind. God is the higher mind that wants the love, the intuition, the wisdom, the knowledge. That is God. Demons are your emotions that possess your body, your mind. That's what a demon is. It's all metaphorical for you, the battle between your mind and your body. You need to sync your mind and your body so that you can live in harmony, which is heaven. It's all metaphors, and until you realize this, you will continue to blame the devil to bringing negativity in your life. You manifested the negativity in your life. You are a result of your thoughts. Where you are in life is a direct manifestation of all the thoughts you have thought in the past. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 + 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and downs. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. Praying is witchcraft. You are using words to alter your reality. Words create vibrational frequencies. Praying over food is changing the vibrational frequency of the water in the food. They are raising the vibration of the food before they place it in their body. Each cell in our body responds to the frequencies produced by thoughts, words, and emotions. Holding their hands together is an ancient form of meditation because your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. Placing them together completes the electrical circuit of the brain and the body and allows electrical energy to flow through the meridians of the body. This technique was used to balance the hemispheres of the brain during meditation to access a higher consciousness. Jesus even says, "No longer will you ask me for anything." Instead of praying to Jesus, the Bible says, "Believe that you receive them and you shall have it." This way you trick the subconscious mind in believing that you already have it, which will manifest into your reality. You attract what you are. Music is magic. Be careful what you listen to because it molds your mind. Do not remove your wisdom teeth. Each tooth is connected to the brain and to different organs in the body. Your wisdom teeth are connected to your heart and your gut. You must understand that every body part in your body has consciousness and has mind of its own. They remove your wisdom teeth because they don't want you connected to the heart. The heart is the guiding intelligence within you. Most birds leave Britain to go to Africa every single year on a migration. The heart is the intelligence that guides them there. The heart is where true wisdom is, and this is why they call them wisdom teeth, because they're connected to the heart. You can feel it when you do something negative because your heart is the intelligence that tells you what is right and from wrong. If you do this gesture, this is actually symbolizing cutting the connection between your brain and your heart. Freemasons symbolize the heart as a book because you can read it to guide you through this life. The heart's nervous system contains 40,000 neurons, which are the same neurons in the brain. Making decisions in the brain can be hard because it consists of a dual hemisphere. The heart is a singular organ, meaning it gives you the right answer. The heart produces an electromagnetic field which we call a vibe when we feel energy off someone. It's produced by the emotion in the heart. Christians say what happens in heaven happens on earth. What happens in the brain, what you think, becomes an emotion in the heart, which is earth. This is why Jesus is always pointing at the sacred heart, because this is the sacred guide through this life. Working means you were a king. You are no longer a king if you are working. Talking, you're either a tall king with your words or a small king with your words. Words are swords because words are frequency, and frequency is the only thing that penetrates your body without your consent. That's why the Bible tells you life and death are in the power of the tongue. Divine is dive in because you dive inward to connect with the divine. That's why Michelangelo put God in the brain, because the kingdom of God is within you. I is the all-seeing eye of consciousness, which is inside of you, which is your intelligence or your ideas. I is the Roman numeral for one, which is one line, because we are all the one consciousness. This is why Jesus says, "Be still, meditate, and know that I am God." Not Jesus is God, the I am within you is God. You are the temple, the all-seeing eye. I'll teach you this, but never teach you this. You are a biological battery. This is why you get charged in a court and then sit in a cell, a battery cell, because you're electromagnetic. Your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. Disease shows up in this field before it manifests physically. This is why your thoughts and emotions contribute towards your illness. Every illness is vibrating on a frequency, and you can use these frequencies to heal them. By listening to these frequencies, you're healing your electromagnetic field, which will then heal your physical body. You attract what you are, not what you want. If you are low vibration, this means you are on the same vibration as illness and disease. If you raise your frequency, you can no longer become ill. This is why you need to eat high frequency food, which is grown under the electrical sun. Fruit provides you with electrical energy because your body is an electrical system. When we look here, we're looking at the colon. When we look at the cheeks, we're looking at the lungs. Looking around the mouth is the sex organs. Sides of the mouth are the kidneys. And your tip of your nose is your heart. If you have acne or skin changes in these areas, it means you have problems with these specific organs. If you're left-handed, your right hemisphere dominated. You need to analyze more. If you're right-handed, your left hemisphere dominated. You need to see the bigger picture more. Hands are a manifestation of your brain hemispheres. Christians pray like this, not knowing they are engaging in ancient forms of meditation to balance the two hemispheres of the brain. When your two hemispheres work as one electrical system, you can unlock your consciousness and have out-of-body experiences. If you have a chin like this, you're a mouth breather. You need to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This will affect the structure of your face. Every body part has a consciousness of its own, which means they think. If you are over-sexual or overeating, you are thinking with the lower body parts, which is hell. You need to think with the higher mind, which is heaven. Hence why Michelangelo put God inside of the brain. Study the Book of Wisdom to gain more understanding on yourself and the universe. Happy birthday is witchcraft. Touch wood is an ancient magic ritual to summon the tree spirits. Turning the lights off and chanting happy birthday while blowing out candles and making a wish is a form of magic rituals. Black mirrors were used to contact spirits, and we use them every single day. They were called scrying mirrors. Scry became screen. When you are praying, you are trying to cast a spell to change reality with your words. The word abracadabra translates to I will create with my words. This is why we call it spelling. It's a spell. Birthday rituals are making you age quicker. When we say how old are you, we are tricking our subconscious mind that we are old. When you jinx something, this is a jinn, which is an invisible creature within the astral plane. Why is it that they covered the hole on top of the Sphinx head? This is why the Pope wears the cap, because when you are born, you have a hole in your cranium. As we get older, this hole shuts. We need to open the window to the Most High. We do this by mental and spiritual awareness. Your body is the temple. God does not dwell in temples made by human hands, which is the body. That's why the side of the head's called the temple. And the kingdom of God is within you. You receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. Spirit means breath, which is the Kundalini energy, to open the pineal gland and open the window to the Most High. Just like Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. Snake is the Kundalini, the wilderness is meditation. Stop taking the Bible literally. It's written in metaphorical code for you to upgrade your consciousness. If God was in the sky, he would have changed this messed up world by now. God is the mind, the creative life spark within you. Leonardo da Vinci was a Freemason who understood the occult and left hidden codes within his paintings. Take a look for yourself with an open mind. The Vitruvian Man, Leonardo da Vinci. The physical plane is the square, the eternal plane, which is the mind, is the circle. Which is the circle, the mind, controlling the physical plane, the physical body, which is the Masonic square and compass. The compass for the circle on top of the square for the square. The Last Supper is astrology. Aries rules the head regent, which is the Lamb of God, and he's on the head of the table. Taurus is the bull, which has thick necks. Gemini is the two twins, which rules the two arms and the two lungs. This is why he's holding up his hands like this. Leo is the dominant lion, which is why he's got his elbow on the table. Cancer is the crab, which have pinchers, is why he's holding a knife. Virgo, the virgin, the woman, which has no Adam's apple, it's a woman. Jesus is the sun, the risen savior, the light of the world. He represents the heart. Libra is the balancing of the sun between summer and winter. This is why he's holding out his arms for the balance. Pisces represents the two fish, the 2 feet, which is why he's holding out his 2 hands on the edge of the table, the end. There are 4 groups of 3 people, and there are 3 months in each season: spring, summer, fall, winter. Adam and Eve is an encoded story. Adam is masculine, which is action. Eve is feminine, which is emotion. Sin is an old word for moon, which is emotion. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the central nervous system. The serpent tempting Eve is the sexual emotion, because emotions are feminine. The forbidden fruit is the sexual fluids. When you release your sexual fluids, you degenerate your body, and the ancients believed this is when you started to die, when you release. The serpent tempts you to release the forbidden fruit, which is your sexual fluids, because the emotion is Eve and the action is Adam. Ancients believed you have immortal genes and you activate them by raising the sacred fluids to your brain. Once you eat the forbidden fruit and you leave the Garden of Eden, which is even between life and death, you are now mortal and you know the good and the evil, and you will live and you will die. Sexual emotion is the most powerful emotion the human could possibly feel. Sin also means sign, which means time, which is emotions that exist in time. The only emotions that exist in time is sexual emotions and negative emotions. You are a slave. When you are born, you get a birth certificate. When a ship pulls up to its bay on water, it's called the birth canal. When it pulls up, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you are born on water through the birth canal, you get a certificate of manifest. This is because you are now a product and you showed up on water, and this represents your cooperation. This is why when you die, you're called a corpse. So when you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, this is not you. This represents the cooperation that you have agreed to identify with. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a cooperation. When we are born into a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, we are owned by the Vatican because our names or corporations are assigned to a copyrighted timeline. You're an electromagnetic battery. This is why you get charged in a court, and when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This is why cities look like motherboards, because we produce electricity. A city is electricity. Do you understand is a trick question. When a law enforcement asks you this actually means do you stand under the law, not if you understand something. The English language is used against you so that you submit yourself to the law. If you like Star Wars, you literally have no life. Give me a symbols or magic. This is important, so listen. When you see the Nike symbol, this activates thoughts and emotions that you associate with the symbol in your mind. The thoughts you think manifest into imagination, which is the astral plane, the spirit plane. All of the minds in the world have associated this Nike symbol with a certain emotion and thought, which manifests as some sort of spirit in the astral plane. Yes, your mental energy creates demons and spirits within the astral plane. The more people that contribute towards this thought, towards this, the bigger and the more powerful the spirit becomes. When you wear this symbol, you are wearing the spirit of Nike. Depending on how people view that symbol, depends whether it has a negative or a positive charge on that spirit. If it has a negative spirit, you are then wearing a negative entity, a negative spirit. Wearing sigils can either benefit us or negatively impact us, depending on what sigils we wear and keep in our sight. Symbols are sigils and they carry astral energy. We are in constant rotation with the astral plane. Everything you think, say and do is done in the astral, which affects your astral energy body. Stop eating iron. If you see iron in the ingredients, this is
iron oxide,
which is the physical metal. You don't want heavy metals in your body. Your body needs iron phosphate or iron fluorine, which can only be found in fruits, vegetables and herbs. Iron is crucial for the blood to carry oxygen around the body. Iron is even magnetic, and you're an electromagnetic being. If you are a female, Fe is iron, and you lose blood on a monthly basis. You need to make sure that you keep up with your iron levels. Frequent headaches, dark eye bags, low energy and pale yellow skin are all signs you may have iron deficiency. If you see in the ingredients citric acid or absorbic acid, stay away from them. Citric acid is GMO mold grown in a lab. Absorbic acid is synthetic vitamin C. All of your minerals can be found in fruits and vegetables. You do not need synthetic versions. Throw away all of the oils you have and only use these. Here is how to stop Google listening to your conversations. Firstly, go to your Google account and click Manage Account. Then go on Data and Privacy. Once you are here, scroll down and go to Web and Activity. Then make sure that you unclick Include Voice and Audio Activity. Be sure to unclick this box which says Include Chrome History and Activities from Sites. They definitely don't need this information. And one final thing, make sure that you delete all of your history with Google by clicking this. Remember, if something is free, you are the product. They have two eyes because they're watching your data. Share, like and comment this video. Jesus never walked on water. It's a metaphor for astral projection. The water Jesus walked on is the ether, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral planes. Peter becomes scared when Jesus is trying to teach him how to walk on water and falls back in the water. When you astral project and you start to fear, you will fall back into your physical form. This is why Jesus was known as the fisher of man, because he was fishing minds out of this physical plane into higher realms of consciousness. The word man or men comes from the Latin word mens, which means mind. Jesus was the fisher of minds. We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. The Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends. The first day of the month, the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a 7-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. You are not your body. You are the soul. Just like the sun gives life to the earth, your soul gives life to your body. As above, so below. And you're still trapped in the womb. When the baby becomes aware that there's a life outside of its mother, it seeks a way out into the world. It's the same with your soul. When your mind becomes aware of a world beyond this world, you seek a way out. This is what you call a spiritual awakening. You will never die. Your soul is on a journey of expansion and creativity. Every ending is just a new beginning. The purpose of life is down to these two things. Creation, it's impossible for you not to create. And learning, it's impossible for you not to learn. Your soul will continue to expand and learn for eternity. Stop being afraid of death. You die every single night and wake back up. It's just a microcosm of the macrocosm. Why is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions, which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry, not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area. This is why the church tells you not to do yoga. The nervous system stores emotional trauma. For example, you're in a car crash. Just before you crash, your body starts to tense up in the anticipation for the impact. The nervous system stores this tension, and your nervous system has stored every sensation you've ever had. Over time, all of these tensions can manifest into a physical problem such as back pain, joint aches, and even disease. Yoga is highly effective from releasing stored trauma from the nervous system before it can manifest into any problems. You know that amazing feeling you get after stretching? That's all of your trauma and negative energy being released from your nerves. Yoga does not open demonic doors into your consciousness. It's just another fear that the church installs to you, so you stop increasing your consciousness. Jesus will never save you, you have to save yourself. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Okay, and then Matthew 21:12 says Jesus went into the temple of God, which means he went within himself to meet with God, and that's what you must do. The side of your head is called a temple because you connect with consciousness with God within yourself. You have to save yourself. Praying to a man in the sky will never ever save you. Freemasons always place the East at the top of their artwork. I'm going to decode the symbolism for you. At the bottom of the painting we have checkered board floors. This is the base. This is the beginning. Black is material. White is spiritual. The physical world is made by spirit and matter combined. This represents the beginning of the Mason's journey when he lives in illusion and identifies himself with the physical body. Now this is why you see the checkered floor in music all the time, because they're using music to produce illusions. This is a blueprint to produce a temple, and these are the tools to create the temple. Not a physical temple, a temple within our own mind. These tools represent the tools to reconstruct our inner world, to change our belief system, limiting beliefs and mental blockages. We must build a temple in the three aspects of our consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Once we have reconstructed and built a temple of moral law and integrity and changed our belief systems within our own mind and consciousness, we can then start the journey to enlightenment. This ladder is the ladder of climbing to higher consciousness, going from the illusion of the material world up to enlightenment and understanding higher levels of reality. And no, I'm not a Freemason, I've just studied their symbols. When you can read symbolism, it will change your life. You need to understand the simulation. Everything you feel is not real, and everything you see is an illusion. Everything you're experiencing is a simulation produced by your nervous system. This laptop is not solid, it's just a bunch of atoms placed together. And the reason my finger doesn't go through the laptop is the electrical fields of the atoms in the laptop are repelling the electrical fields in my finger. What you feel when touching something is your nervous system decoding the electrical waves that you've come into contact with. You're not feeling the external world. You're feeling electrical impulses decoded by your brain. They'll never tell you this, but your brain is an energy decelerator. Everything outside of you is energy. What you see is your brain slowing down this energy outside of you into a visual image that you can perceive. Everything outside of you is fake. The only thing that is real is your consciousness. Material world trick, matrix. Hindus call this Maya, the illusion of the world. Kabbalists call the world the veil that hides your soul. And the reason why the world's so lost and depressed today is because we're looking for ourselves in the outer world. None of the short-term pleasures that the material world offers can ever satisfy your soul. True happiness comes from within. Stop seeking validation in your outer reality. Go within yourself and find happiness within. The solution to the world is meditation.